We are live. I'm live again, and I'm outside on my boat, showing you what gorgeous weather it is today. It's actually not so hot, so I'm not dying of the heat. And as I normally do, I will show you where I am right now. And we have some guys cutting the lawns, and I mean, this is my view every day. I love living on my boat. I went yesterday and played again with my grandkids, but I'm so glad to be back on my boat again. So, today I want to talk about goals. Did you set any goals in January, or did you just, open a business without deciding where you want to be in 10 years' time? So many times we are just falling into starting our businesses because we're enthusiastic about something, right? We are, oh my God, I need to sell these t-shirts because I love sayings and I'm going to start a business. And you just fall into every day, you fall into something that you need to do. You listen to lots of Google stuff, not Google, YouTube stuff that teach you how to set up your website, set up your store, even what to do, how to get sales, and so everything is so discombobulated of what you're doing that you never actually stop from swimming, right? There's never a time to actually get out of the water and look around and see, okay, what am I doing and where am I going? It's so easy to set resolutions, right? To set resolutions about in January and going, okay, this year I'm going to do so this the next thing. And, it's already August. How many days to Christmas, right? How many days to New Year's? And have you looked back at what you're doing? Have you ever looked back and said, you know what, I'm on a good path. Haven't achieved everything I've done. Okay, so, and I hate to say this very loud, since we're in this situation, I hate to say it, but, it is isolation, it's different, it's, we're not catching up with whatever we need to do this year. But you still need to somehow to clutch onto those goals and hang on to them because it's a plan. It's a plan that you've thought about and you need to actually stick to them, right? So go back and have a look at what you're doing. So this is what Richard Branson said, and I have a saying here somewhere, and I'll tell you exactly what he said. He had the easiest ways to set his goals, which, he's an amazing man, right? Whatever he's achieved in his life, he's achieved and being totally upfront and done it, right? So the difference between goals and systems. So we have a system. I always insist on having the right system to create a successful, profitable business. That's a system, right? But what is the difference between a goal and a system? So for instance, if you say, if you're a coach, I'm a coach, your goal is to win. If you're a coach, a golf coach, right? Or a athletic coach, your goal is to win a championship. Your system is your team that practices every day, right? That's your system. If you're a writer, your goal is to write a book. Your system is the writing schedule that you have every week, right? So that's the difference between goal and system. So if you're a runner, you're going to run a marathon. And I know my friend Kelly runs marathons. She's absolutely crazy. I will never run a marathon. But she does, right? So her system, that's her goal, right? But her system is training schedule for, I think it's really 6 weeks before you run a marathon that you have to really have a system to run it successfully. If you're an entrepreneur, your goal is to have a $1 million business. Your system is your sales and your marketing and how you're going to actually get it to market, okay? So how can we keep our dreams and our goals alive? Sir Richard Branson, as I've mentioned it before, he obviously knows what he's doing, and so he's got some ideas, and those are the things that I'm going to actually mention today because I've got them in a blog, and I have also looked at my goals and said, have you achieved what you wanted to do this year? Where are you at? And how can you change things to actually get to that goal this year? Okay, so this is Richard Branson. So he said that a basic principle about his goal setting is just write it down. I mean, how easy is that? Write it down. And I mean, if you don't write your goals down, you are going to actually forget about them. That's it. I mean, if they're just here, we have so many things in our heads. I call it my filing cabinet. My filing cabinet is full of stuff to do every single day. You know, your clients, you need to do sales and marketing and all the stuff you need to do. There's no time to actually hold that goal in your head. There's no space in your head, right? Because it's family, it's kids, it's people doing stuff. So the way to do it is write it down, because if you can't see it, you will not remember it. So if you think about when you were studying, how did you study? I studied by reading and writing things down, and then reading it again and writing it down again. And that's how I got through my exams, because I'm a visual person, and I'm sure most people are visual, right? So get yourself a calendar and start writing those goals on this calendar on your wall and say, this is what you want to achieve this year, right? These are these goals you want to achieve. Then what you do is you break it down into steps, right? What do I need to do this month to achieve my end goal? And believe me, I have a 20-year plan. I'm going to be an old lady, and I'm going to still be doing what I'm doing, but I'm going to be doing it much more successfully because I've got goals in my head. And life is going to happen. Things are going to happen. You know, the pandemic happened. What the hell, right? But you can still achieve some of it. And if we hang in there and we hang on to our goals, we are going to get there. Okay, so let me tell you about the 10 steps here. So one of them is write every single idea down that you want to do in your life, okay, in the next 5 to 10 years. And I would say make a goal for 10 years. Never mind this 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I'm a 20-year girl. I'm in this for the long haul. You didn't start your business to just abandon it, right? You started your business because you're looking at the end game. You want to do this. You're passionate about it. So write every single thing down that you want to do. This is how you're going to start doing those goals. Let me do this. Ding, 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 off my thing. Okay. So write every idea down. Okay. Then what you do is you're always carrying a notebook. And so if you write somewhere and you have 5 minutes or 2 seconds of meditation or thinking about stuff, your ideas will come up. And when your ideas come up, it goes back to those goals that you have, because they're in front of your face all the time. And I drive. I love driving. So when I am thinking about something and I think, you know what, I need to get further in my goals. What do I need to do? And you know, you are so busy scrabbling around that there's nothing happening. But when I'm driving or when I'm sitting down just quietly thinking, and I think, boom, I have an idea, right? And if I do this and I do this next thing and I do the next thing, maybe I can achieve that goal. Or so you gotta have a method that's number one. Okay, always write it down. 2, always carry a notebook. Have a journal. A journal is unbelievably essential in an entrepreneur's life. Because remember this, you know, you can see I've written a book, right? But it's all about technical stuff. But think about this. When you are famous one day, okay, and you've made millions of dollars, you want to write a book. How did you start it? What obstacles did you have? So you can maybe teach somebody else to do what you need to do. This guy's very annoying. And so you need to write everything down of your experiences and also of your ideas. And then, okay, make a list of small, as I said, you have this big goal, and so you got to make a list of small tasks that you can do to achieve that big goal. So for instance, you want to make $1 million. How are you going to do it, right? You got to write your ideas down. How are you going to do it? You're going to do some ads, you're going to do some marketing, you're going to do some lives, you're going to write a book, you're going to create a course, you're going to sell more products. But okay, so those are the goals, right? Those are those little lists of things that we're going to do. Then you're going to pick 3 big ones, right? You pick 3 big ones that's going to say, okay, to achieve $1 million, I need to have, I don't know, what are your costs of your products or your courses or whatever you're selling. I need to sell 100 of those items, or 2,000 or 10,000, I don't know, right? So write that down. How many do you have to sell to actually get to that $1 million? Then what you do is you say, okay, so I have to sell it. So how am I going to sell my products? How am I going to do it? I'm going to do some marketing. I'm going to do some sales, and they're different things, right? And I'm going to do some ads, and then I'm going to maybe write some blogs, maybe, include some emails. Okay. Then what you do is you write down your resources of how you're going to achieve those goals. So that's the difference, right? You're going to write down the resources. Then you're going to make your goals measurable. Okay. And the way to do that is to say, okay, if I'm going to achieve $1 million, right? We love $1 million, which is not really much, but $1 million. Then I'm going to, so I divide it into 12, right? That's probably I think it's about 8,000 or something you have to sell. Items, if they cost $1, right? And then you divide them to your prices of your products, and then you know that you have to sell 5-10 products a day, right? Or you have to sell 5 products a day. So how are you going to achieve it? And remember, it's going to be very short in the beginning, and then it's going to get that impetus where you're actually going to sell more. So don't think you're going to sell everything at the beginning. So you've got to be realistic about these goals, right? It sometimes takes 6 months to a year to even get going, but you need to get going, right? That's my whole thing. You need to get going. Then what you're going to do is you're going to create some goals. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, right? And I said to her, she's making great sales every month, and she's like really happy with what she's doing, but she feels like she's swimming a bit, right? She needs to get to that next level. So I said to her, the first question was, what do you want to do if you sell your company? Have you thought about it? Think about it. Okay, so in 20 years, I want to sell my company. What am I going to do? Because you need to have that little side business popping here on the back of your head, right? Then also, what would you do? Now think about this. What would you do if you had $1 million and you didn't need to work? Just say $1 million a month. Just don't be shy, okay? What would you do if you had that much money in your pocket right now? What would you do? That's your passion. You will discover whether you are on the right path or not. Okay? So think about that. Write that down. Okay? Do not write that down. Okay? And then also, I know people, this is all about business, but you have to write down your personal stuff. And another thing I mentioned is your personal life and your business life are intertwined. They will never, ever, ever are they separate. No, but if anybody tells you that, it's bull dust, right? It's total bull dust, right? They are intertwined, because when you're doing business, your family, your personal stuff is right here, and they are right intertwined, because you are working your backside off to get your business going. So everybody that has to be with you or have to be involved with you, because if they're not, it's not going to succeed. I mean, I know people go, you know what, I've achieved this all by myself. I don't think so. There was one person behind you who encouraged you. All I can say is I had the most amazing person in my life when I took my company from 0 to $3 million in 4 years. I had this amazing person behind me, my best friend. Okay, my husband as well, right? And my boys, everybody was behind me. But she was there helping me with my business all the time. So you have to also have that one person in your life that really, really supports you and actually helps you. Because believe me, if you're getting to $1 million, you need somebody in your corner that can help you actually get things to the market. Okay, so here's the other thing: you got to share your goals with other people. It can't just be on paper. You got to shout it out to the world. And here's what I believe. I totally believe is if you shout things out to the world, it is like somebody's listening to you, and you make it happen. And I mean, there's lots of theories about, everybody's got a different faith, but you shout it out to the world and it'll come back tenfold. I promise you. So you just have to be, and that also makes you confident, because you have said to everybody, my goals, this is my goal, and I'm telling you guys, this is what I'm going to do. This is my vision. Remind yourself every day. There's a little girl that did the dancing thing on TV, right? Jessica, who was going to conquer the world and love her brother and do this and do the other thing and whatever, right? So that's what we have to be. We have to really punch the world, right? We really need to be passionate about what we're doing. And then you need to look back and say, and that's what I did the other day, okay? I did this on Monday, I think, right? I started writing down, okay, this is what I'm going to want to do this week, achieve this week. Let me just check back what I did. And I thought, oh, you know what? I did amazing things. With everything else going on in our lives, I did an amazing. I finished my email list. I pitched my book. I did my funnel. All these little things that we need to do to move forward with our sales. I actually did it. So and then you have to celebrate every success, because that's what we need, and we need it more than ever now, because we are in a world that's changed, and we need to connect to people more. We need to talk to people more. Celebrate. I was listening to a video the other day, and this lady said that she has cocktail hour twice a week with her friends and her co-workers. I mean, that's brilliant, right? That is brilliant. I have cocktail hour with my family in the UK, except it's 12 o'clock. I'm having a cup of tea and they having cocktail hour. But that you need that connection to stay connected to people. We are, especially if you're a solopreneur, you are on your own and you are trying to make things work, right? It is hard, right? I mean, you're on your own, you're thinking about, you're not talking to somebody, you're not communicating with somebody, you're not bouncing ideas off of somebody. So it's a very lonely life. I've been doing it all my life, okay? And you have to have that communication with people. So get a mastermind together, get a whole group together of max 10 people, right? Otherwise it's too chatty. Have an agenda and talk about it, right? Talk about what you're doing. I run workshops and master classes, and the most amazing thing happens in a master class. People start sharing their experiencing. They share and they advise other people in the group about what is a good idea. You can talk about stuff and say, you know what, I'm like at lost. I don't know what to do. What's my next step? In a group, you can say, hey, this is my problem. What do you guys think? And, lay it out. And then because they're looking from the outside in over your problem, it's amazing what they come up with, So create a mastermind, a little group of ladies that are in the same position you're in and the same situation, even the same business, when none of us are competition, because you only have so many hours in the day. You can only handle so much business before it takes over and your personal life disappears, right? So get together and grow together. This is my biggest tip for you today, is grow together. So make it a goal to put together a class where people can talk to each other and actually grow together. So we had here, write down every single, let me see how much time I have. Write down every single idea you have. Obviously have a journal, right? And I have a little notebook in my bag. So I write down everything. If I come up with an idea, I write it down. And obviously you have to go over it and decide, okay, so this is a good idea. I'll shelve this one. Take some good ideas and start developing them, okay? Make a list of method that works for you, right? So don't just willy-nilly write things down, doodling or making a list like bullet points, and then cut your day out. Okay, so when you get these ideas, cut them up into actionable items, right? And then from the actionable items, you cut them down to action steps, right? So how am I going to do this? I need to put something in my email. I need to B, start an ad. I need to C, create a promotion. And D, I need to create images. So for this week, you are going to get your, say for instance, if you're doing products, obviously with e-commerce, right? You're going to get your products ready and all your social images and everything ready to actually do that promotion, okay? So cut it down to really logical steps and stick with it. And here's a tip that my coach gave me, okay? He said, don't plan your day out on the day. Okay, I'll step back. I plan my day. I'm barely awake and I'm planning my day. I need to do all my clients. I need to do this. I need to do a live. And what am I going to do? Talking. And so you go down the steps, okay? Whatever you need to do for your business, it's called a CEO hour or half an hour. You do the day before, because that's working on your business, not in your business, right? So the day before, say for instance, at the end of the day, you go, okay, I'm going to be working on something on my business, not my client's business, right? Then I'm going to do whatever, right? I'm going to do some lives. I'm going to be whatever, and then make it actionable steps, because tomorrow you're going to be working in your business for your customers. You'll be shipping, you'll be creating the SEO for your pages. You are going to be marketing, you're going to be online, and so you're all treading water. So the day before, create those plans of what you need to do to move your business forward, right? Not earning money in your business that you're doing on the day and you're schlepping around and running around doing all this stuff. It's the day before, because we get so involved in our daily stuff that we need to do, we forget to work on our businesses. And that's what goals are all about. So look at the goals that you had at the beginning of the year, and then you say, okay, so I've come this far, I've got this amount of time, how am I maybe going to achieve part of it, right? So, and believe me, I have goals, and if I get just near them, I'm very happy, right? Because I know I've done the right thing, despite our cat dying, despite, COVID, despite whatever's happened, right? I know that I will get to that point of moving forward, because I'm really working hard at it, okay? So look at your goals and make sure that you have, and I've done that recently. I've looked at my goals that are set up at the beginning of the year, and I think, okay, I'm really getting there. I need to work a little bit harder and not just scrabbling around. And so now I'm setting out steps on what to achieve next, okay? So how much money do you want to make for the rest of the year, and how you're going to do it, actionable steps, actionable actions actually, and your resources that you're going to do, you're going to use to actually get there. So make your goals, also make them very, very, very measurable, because if you don't make them measurable, we're still not going to get there, right? So and then also I want you guys to think about, what would you do with your life if you had a lot of money? And don't tell me you're going to sit at home and do nothing or just volunteering. We have to have purpose in our life, okay? And if you're an entrepreneur, your purpose in your life, your passion is making money, okay? Creating a business. And we can be altruistic as possible. Our inner entrepreneur says, I want to make money, I want to be successful. And the way entrepreneurs look at success is, how much money can I make? And then I give all my money away. My kids need something. I mean, I buy stuff, but that's my pleasure, right? I love spending my money. So you have to have a purpose. So think about that. What would you do if you had loads and loads of money? Okay, then celebrate your successes. Share your goals with somebody, right? And if you've achieved them, make new goals. We have to have a plan. And so in this time and age as well, so we have, it's been so drastic. Our lives have changed so drastically. I'm doing my little fan here. Our lives have changed so drastically that sometimes it's pretty depressing, right? It's like, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Am I moving forward? I'm just treading water. But you've got to be positive. And so you've got to be, so here's another thing, okay? So if you're positive in yourself for your customers, right? You're spoiling your customers, and you're positive for your customers, and you send them little cards, and you chat with them, and they see how positive you are online when you're doing your videos. That positiveness will actually attract more customers to you because they love what you're doing, okay? So this is all I have to say. Okay, so I have lots of links in the top that you can connect with me. I do give away a strategy meeting. I love my strategy meetings, and I always say, you get half an hour, but yesterday was like an hour and a half, and we were still talking because I get so excited about businesses. Obviously, I have to have the time, but I do give away half an hour strategy session on the phone, or a messenger or whatever. And then I do have a book. You can go to my Amazon book. It's a great way to start a business. It's a step-for-step with lots of pictures of how you set up your new store. And if you have a store, there's lots of information on, lots of tips and stuff on how to revive your store. Because I look at stores all the time, and I tell you something, there's not one store where I don't say, maybe you could do this, right? So there's always something that you can improve on your store. And then I have workshops. I have paid workshops where I coach you twice a week for an hour live. You're in a group. It's like a mastermind, and we talk about business. This one you have to pay for, but you can try it out for free. So if you're interested, connect with me. I'm Veronica Jeans, the e-commerce queen, and I love chatting to you guys. Thank you for popping in, and let me know if I can help you at all, okay? Thank you. Bye, guys.